and welcome. This is Mike Adams, the Health Ranger with naturalnews.com, joined again in our studio by Dr. Edward Group III from the Global Healing Center. His website is globalhealingcenter.com, and today we're going to be talking about indoor air quality and some revolutionary air purification technology. This is not an infomercial. I don't have any financial ties to Ed, his company, this product. This is just an open discussion about stuff that works. So Ed, does this work? I mean, well, tell us about it.
You know, we've been going into homes and evaluating people's health, and one of the most toxic things that we're finding is indoor air. And that's because people have VOCs emitted from their paint and their walls. They have VOCs emitted from their carpet. EPA and different types of studies have said that a baby crawling on the floor for a full day is the equivalent of that baby smoking 4 cigarettes because of the outgassings and the toxins they're exposed to.
Wow.
You have mold and mildew. You have most people that have pets. So you have pet dander. You have human dander. You have dust mites. The fact of the matter is, people are inhaling massive amounts of toxins from the time they wake up in the morning, even to the time they sleep. You have these memory foam mattresses that are outgassing all night long.
Ooh, those are the worst. Those things are terrible. Highly toxic. Just if you bought a memory foam mattress, send it back. That I actually almost passed out on treadmill the day after getting a memory foam mattress and sleeping on it.
It's horrible. It's soaked full of fire retardants and chemicals.
Oh my God!
That it's just a big chemical mattress. It's just fuming with chemicals that you're breathing all night long.
It is.
And so, you know, after evaluating so many people in their health care and trying to find, because I get the question all the time, what's the one thing I can do right now? Or what if you were to pick one thing out of all these things, what would it be? And I always say your air. You take 30,000 breaths every single day. You have to breathe clean air because that's what's coming in and that's what's cleansing your body.
And if you live in a city, you're getting toxic pollution air all day long into your apartment, you know, or your house or whatever. Right. And a lot of those buildings just recycle the same air from somebody else's unit. So you're getting like your neighbor's bad air and they're exhaling all this toxic stuff and you're breathing it in.
Exactly. I mean, and inside, when you're confined inside, especially with a lot of people, you don't have any oxygen, like especially the high rises in big cities in New York City and everything. Those are so closed in that exactly what you said, the air just keeps circulating around. You have people that are sick and viruses and everything keep coming around, and nobody really has plants in their house. So they're not getting oxygen in their apartments. They just keep getting carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide and all these other things. Hopefully not carbon monoxide, too much carbon monoxide. But,
park your garage,
you know, with all these, you know, rayon, different types of chemicals being released from all these coatings on things, those are releasing chemicals into the air. And so it's very important to go through someone's home and office space too, because offices are extremely toxic and they do the same thing, and nobody has air purification systems. Hospitals don't even have air purification systems. You would think that hospitals would have the most high-tech air purification systems known to man.
Well, that's where the superbugs are the biggest problem. That's where they need to purify the air more than anywhere else, you're right. And yet they completely ignore the issue. They don't have the filtration technology that you're talking about. Can you show us this technology, this unit, and it's the same technology as what we have on the screen, just a smaller unit,
Yes,
right?
yes. Well, what I did was I started looking around, and there's a lot of different air purification systems out there, HEPA technology, ions, you know, all this stuff. But I wanted to find something that would, especially what you said with the superbugs and what they're spraying in the air, I wanted something that was going to be well-versed, something that's been proven to eliminate avian flu, any type of, let's say there's a biological warfare and someone comes in your house, or not even coming in your house. Let's say you close your house off and you go in the room with this thing. I wanted to make sure that you and your family would be protected. So for any type of toxin or biological weapon that could be used. And this is not my product either. I mean, I searched around to find, you know, who had the best product, and the product was made by RGF, and it's actually a super high-tech. This one right here, which is called the Reme Plus air purification system, actually fits inside your HVAC unit of your house. Now, up to this date, most of the air purification you see is someone buying something from a mall and plugging it in that goes back and forth, and they have to change their filters or whatever. A lot of the toxins get up into the vents, especially mold and mildews, and stay there. No matter how many purification systems you have around your house, you're still going to have mold and mildew in your air conditioning venting system.
So this goes right into the central system.
This goes right into the central system, installs in like 10 minutes. Anybody can do it, and through a plasma electromagnetic system, it creates ionized hydroperoxides that actually flow through the whole vent system and down through the vents in every single room of your home, cleansing and neutralizing any of the toxins. And what happens is they clump up in the air and they fall to the ground. So the next time you vacuum.
So they bind to other elements of dust or small particles in the air, even smoke particles?
Yes, anything.
Yeah.
VOCs, smoke particles, pet odors, any type of perfume odors, strong odors. If someone comes home, if your kids come home sick from school, because kids are always getting all kinds of viruses and bacteria and stuff. There's always some sick kid at school that gets the flu vaccine and passes the flu to every of the other kids.
Of course, yeah.
And then they come home. Well, at least you know that when you sleep and when someone comes in your house, that the air is going to be clean and fresh, and it's not going to have, even in your kitchen, those ions will come through and land on your countertops and actually keep your kitchens clean.
Are there filters to replace? Or does
there
it just
are no
use
filters
electricity?
With this uses your standard, it is electric. When you plug it into the main system, you have to have a plug up there, which usually there is right by the air conditioning system. You plug it in, you turn it on, and that's it.
But how do you connect this to your HVAC unit? I mean, is it inserted somewhere?
It's inserted. If you look at the plume, where the HVAC unit sucks the air in, it goes through, and then where it pushes the air out, the cool air out through your air conditioning system.
Yeah.
There's usually a box called a plume right there, and you take a drill with a 3-inch bit, straight through there into the plume, and it comes with another seal that comes on the inside and outside, so you can seal it. This part from here over goes into your plume.
Oh, wow.
This part on the outside sticks out still. And then you seal it.
Wow.
And then as the air gets sucked in, it comes through your air conditioning unit, it gets cooled, and then as soon as it goes into the main plume to go out, before it goes to all the vents, that's when it secretes the ions of hydrogen peroxide into the air.
But it doesn't use any other consumables. It's just electricity.
Just electricity.
You don't have to put something in it.
Nope, it's eco-friendly. The only thing that you'll change is your main air conditioning filters on a regular basis.
Right.
And and then use a good HEPA vacuum cleaner or something that's going to get all the particles and the dust off the floor.
I see, because you could have more particles on the floor.
Yes.
As a result.
But the main thing is you're not inhaling any chemicals or bugs or viruses or anything like that. The particles would be, even if you're on the floor, you probably still wouldn't be inhaling unless you just, right off the carpet or something.
Some kids do that.
Some kids do that.
Like roll along the carpet, sucking in everything they can.
Licking the couch and licking everything.
Yes.
That's right. So, but since this unit is plugged into your HVAC system, let's say you're in your office and you don't want to go to the management and they're not going to install all these things into the office, or you have a small space, or you live in a townhouse, or you live in an apartment. Then you have the plug-in unit, or if you just want to put this in your baby's room and just increase more oxygen in that area, even if you have that, you can have both. I mean, I have that, and I have 2 AC HVAC systems for my house, one for upstairs and one for downstairs. So I have 2 of those units plugged in. Each one of these does about 3,000 square feet.
So this is the same technology, just a smaller unit.
This is the same technology, smaller unit, and this would be used for individual offices, apartments, condominiums, high-rise apartment buildings, something where you can't reach the main air conditioning system, and these do about 300 square feet.
Right.
And these actually have the plug on here as well, so you're not losing an outlet. So you plug it in, and then you can plug that
Here,
into
push it over this way so they can see it on camera.
So this would be the outlet here,
Yeah.
and it's the same technology. It plugs right into the wall. It's quiet. It doesn't make any noise.
Not like a big fan going
Not
in there.
like a big fan like some of the air purification systems. And
now it's not some people have concern about ozone ozone generators that we've seen in the past. I think Sharper Image got into some trouble over that. What's the deal with that? And is this is not
This
ozone.
is completely different. I mean, ozone, I've always been on the side of ozone because I've actually breathed ozone, right, bubbled through water. Not directly because it's very caustic and ozone is O3, but you have to remember that there's so many particles in the air that even if you were to release ozone right here, right now, 90% of it almost immediately would bond to something because it's such a reactive molecule.
Yeah.
So
I had an ozone generator. I was playing with it, and it will kill plants, by the way, because to the plants, the oxygen is a poison.
Right.
I've had plants die from being around too much ozone. But then humans are the opposite.
Right.
That's
Plants
for
are
us.
take
That's our
in
fuel.
your carbon dioxide and release oxygen, and we're going to take in oxygen and release carbon dioxide. It's strange how the environment works like that. It's just you give me this and I'll give you this.
Right.
I mean, everything's normal.
Yeah.
But no, this is exactly what would be created in a perfect environment up in the mountains by a stream where you actually have all the elements working together and creating ionized hydroperoxides. And it's completely safe to breathe and to use. It's not the high negative ions that are some of those air purification systems are producing, or high levels of ozone. And the problem with ozone is, let's say if you were to run oxygen through the ozone generator, it would be different because then you would be getting a cleaner type of ozone. What happens when you just use ozone as a spark or as a coronal discharge is you're not actually putting a pure oxygen source in. So you're taking ambient air,
right,
and you're actually, you have nitrogen and all these other chemicals that you're creating, so it creates nitric oxides and all these other chemicals.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Here's another thought or observation. I have, my dog Roxy, she's been on the internet, everybody knows about her. When we used to live in a smaller house and not have nature out on the ranch where we are now, Roxy would smell more of a dog smell. But now that we live on a ranch and she goes outside and goes every day into the areas of trees, little forests and things like that, she never smells at all. So I'm thinking there's something happening in nature that is eliminating odors naturally on Roxy. Is that what effect is that? Do you know? I mean, is it negative
Whenever
ions,
you
or?
limit the amount of space, whether it's indoors and you have indoor dogs, this happens all the time. Go into somebody's apartment, like a one-bedroom apartment that has a dog in there. I mean, the first thing when you walk in, that's all you can smell.
Dog.
Dogs
or
need
cats.
because nothing gets out. There's no air circulation. If there's air circulation, like out in nature, you have that circulation, so it's able to neutralize some of that stuff. And the dog's breathing in pure air. It's like what you breathe in comes out through your skin. What you eat comes out through your skin. That's why you have to talk to raw vegans or people who eat healthy and they don't smell, they don't use deodorant.
Right.
But then you talk to somebody who eats a horrible diet, processed foods, all that stuff, and
milk and butter.
Oh my gosh, you can smell them from a mile away.
And my dog Roxy can smell them from 5 miles away.
Well, and I'm sure Roxy's, her, the senses are getting better and better and better.
That's true, yeah. She can smell the chickens from a long ways away.
As she's, becoming one with nature and starting to smell, now she can, really start to learn that land and,
Yeah. Well, anyway, so obviously a lot of interesting stuff going on in nature, but these types of units, they're made by the same company, this portable one and the household one, right?
Yes. It's a patented technology. This company was hired they've been doing air purification and water purification for a long time, probably since, I don't know how long, but at least over 30 or 40 years.
Yeah. And
they were hired by the Chinese governments to come up with a solution for the hospitals in China during the H1N1 and SARS epidemics.
Really? So China's hospitals have better technology than U.S. hospitals?
Yes. Well, the U.S. is ranked number 28th in the world for healthcare.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we're last. Emergency care, we're number one, but as far as managing any type of health or disease or any type of care, we're pretty much dead last. I mean, what does that tell you about our healthcare system here?
Well, even the education system has a similar ranking in many areas. I mean, academically, America's not doing too well anymore these days either. And it's probably all the fluoride, the psychotropic drugs, the toxic chemicals in the foods, the medicines, everything, the environments that these children are brought up in. And then they go to school, and the schools feed them more junk, hexane extracted soy protein meals, government funded, school lunch programs. Some of those boxes with meat are labeled suitable for human consumption.
I know.
Which means just barely suitable for human consumption. I mean,
Right.
That's what kids are eating, so we're behind on a lot of issues.
Yeah, I had to actually talk the staff at my kid's school into letting me put these only in their classroom.
You're kidding me.
No.
They didn't want them in the whole school.
No, I was going to donate them, but there's there's so many politics involved.
Oh my gosh.
Because what are they, it's a new substance coming in. I'm like, we're purifying the air in the classroom. You have 20, 30 kids in this classroom, all of them, during getting flu shots, bringing it in here, contaminating, touching stuff, all this. You would think that in schools, it would be mandatory to have in each classroom an air purification system.
You would think.
You would think.
But maybe they're afraid of it. It looks kind of like a plasma cannon.
It's very crazy looking, yes. I mean, if you were to show somebody that and they looked at it, they would probably think it's some sort of a terrorist bomb or something.
You could use it as a movie prop.
I was actually thinking about putting one in my suitcase, my carry-on, and going through the TSA body scanner. I wouldn't go through the scanner, by the way.
But
I've never gone through the scanner.
I haven't either.
And I've had pat-downs, and my kids have sat there and screamed and cried having to go through pat-downs when we were in Germany, and it was bad. But yeah.
Just try to explain technology to the average TSA goon who has an IQ of about 50. I mean, they wouldn't understand anything at all. The TSA agents tell people that these backscatter machines produce no radiation. No radiation. Well, how do they see through your clothes then, sir? Technology. But no radiation. I mean, they're morons.
They don't want to tell the TSA agents because they're all coming down with cancers and stuff now.
Of course they are. They're all getting cancer. And yeah, they're going to be the ones who are, of course, ending up in the hospitals with cancer and dying from the disease that they were told couldn't happen.
But anyway, because of national security, they're not going to be able to sue the TSA.
Right, apparently. Anyway, off topic. Folks, if you want to check out more about the Guardian Air Reme air purification system, check out globalhealingcenter.com. And Ed, it's always good talking with you here. Thanks for the conversation again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
You bet.